Hello everyone and welcome back to our Angular tutorial series. Today we have an exciting topic to cover: how to create custom validators in Angular. Custom validators allow us to add custom validation logic to our Angular forms, giving us more control over the validation process. In this tutorial, I will walk you through the steps to create and use custom validators in your Angular applications. So let's dive right in. Before we begin, let's quickly discuss the Angular validators. Validators in Angular are functions that validate the input data in forms. Angular provides a set of built-in validators, but we can also create custom validators to suit our specific requirements. If you haven't already, make sure you have Node.js and Angular CLI installed on your system. We will start by creating a new Angular project using ng-new command. So in order to create a new project, just type ng-new project name and press enter. This would create a new project. Then you can go into that project and open in your favorite editor. I will be using VS Code. I already have created my project, so I will be using that one that is open in my VS Code. I have ran it in my browser already. Now let's dive into creating our custom password strength validator. We want to check if our user's password meets specific criteria, such as containing both letters and numbers. So for that, first of all, I would create my basic HTML form to start with. All right, next thing is that we need to import a module in the imports array, that is reactive forms module. So I'm using app.module, but you may use the standalone components as well to import it directly in your component. Let us first create our form group in the component file. So here I will add form. We have to inject the form builder service first. Make sure to import it from Angular forms, and after that I will initialize it form group, and let's create the fields, username and the password. Okay, the very first validator that I would like to add is the built-in validator from Angular. So make sure to import the validators class as I did here. Now let's link it with our form in the HTML. For that, here you need to add form group and give it that property. And now let's link those fields in that form with our inputs. For that, just add form control name, and this is going to be username. Next we need form control name, that would be password. All right, just to double check if it is connected correctly, you can display the JSON form value to see everything is connected properly. So just type something and you will see that the value is being updated in the real time. That's when everything is set up correctly. All right, now here I can add disabled directive. It would be disabled only if form is not valid. Right now it is invalid, but as soon as I type something in the password, it becomes valid and the button becomes enabled. Now let's continue building our custom validator, and we will add it here. So to create a custom validator, first of all, create a function password strength validator, and it will receive the control, and the type of control would be abstract control. And make sure to import the abstract control like this from the Angular/forms. And after that, create a variable password, and the type would be string, and we are getting the value of that password. Very first thing that I will check is if password is empty, then just return it as it is. But if password is not empty, then we will create some regular expression and we will test some cases, like if it has number, and if it is uppercase, and then if it has lowercase. Okay, and by the way, these kind of validations mostly happen in the registration form, so you may consider it as the registration form if you want to. Okay, so that it sounds more practical. All right, next we need to create a constant valid that would check if this password has the number, has uppercase and has lowercase. If it matches all of these criteria, then it would be considered valid, and we will return based on this validation result, like if valid is true, then return null. Otherwise, return an object with the property password strength and the value would be true. Okay. Now, after that is done, go back to the form group, and here in the validators array, I will add that custom validator. Now let's give it a quick try and see if it is really working. So I have typed something, it is still disabled. That's mean it is not valid yet. So here I will add number and uppercase and lowercase. Now you can see as conditions are matched, then it becomes enable and the form becomes valid. Effective user feedback is crucial. So we will demonstrate how to display custom strength error message in our form, ensuring a user-friendly experience. So for that, go back to the HTML and below the password input, I will add a div invalid password. Here you can use ngIf and you can add form.get password.valid. So now I'm checking if the password is invalid, then it will show this div element that would say invalid password. And let's add a color red. So let's see. Okay, reload it. Now you can see it is saying the invalid password. Let's make it valid. Okay, but the problem is that right now when the form is first time loaded, it is still showing the error. It should not show the error until user has started to touch and make changes in the inputs. For that, I will add another condition that form.get password touched. If user has touched the password, then it will check the validation, otherwise not. Now you can see by default there is no error, but if you make a change or touch it, then it will show the error. But if you fix it, then the error would be gone. Further, if you want to display different kind of errors based on different validation errors, then you can do that as well. Right now, I'm just showing the generic error message that is invalid password, but it is showing for both kind of errors for the password. Like if it is empty, then it will throw the required error, and if it is invalid password based on the strength validator that we made, then it is again using the same text message. So if you want to differentiate that, you can do that as well. So first of all, I will show you an object. So form.get password errors and pipe it through JSON, and you will see all of the errors. And right now it will tell you that which kind of errors are available right now that are here. So first of all, right now it is saying that required, the validation required is being triggered, and when you click on that, it is touched, so it throw another error that is password strength that becomes true. This property actually coming from a custom validator that we made. So for example, here we are returning this is equal to true. So this name is actually coming from there. So we can make use of these things to create a separate message for every kind of error. For that, here I will add ng container, and here I will say that password is required if form.get password errors. If there are errors, then use the property required. So we must have to access it in this way, then it will not cause any problem. Next, I will copy paste it, and we will access a different error message that is with the name password strength. So use that one here, and you can say that password is not valid. Okay, so now let's try it. I have clicked on that, it is saying that password is not valid, but if you remove everything, then it is saying that password is required. So it is updating every time based on the error message or kind of error that is happening. You can now get rid of this JSON and try it again. So you can see password is not valid, but if you make it empty, it will say password is required. Alright, in summary, we have covered how to create a custom password strength validator in Angular, integrate it into the registration form, and validate user passwords effectively. Thank you for watching. If you found this tutorial useful, please like, share, and subscribe for more Angular tutorials and web development content. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Happy coding. See you next time.